He knocked me over. I landed on the dog bowl.
This one's wife. Snubbed. Once again. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. The world turns. The sun rises, the sun sets. Another day passes on planet Earth, and it's another day that we learn that this one's wife has been snubbed. Being snubbed is no good to the narcissist. It means there is no provision of fuel, the lifeblood of the narcissist, the very thing that provides the narcissist with that sensation of power and glues the construct together. And also, it affects the need for control, because it signals to the narcissist that they do not matter, that they are not important. And, as you understand, through the mindset of the narcissist, they are the most important person to walk the earth. This one's wife finds herself repeatedly snubbed as a collateral consequence of the way that her narcissism works. Her narcissism, although it tries to operate a facade, has her behaving in a grasping, unpleasant and nasty way, so that she behaves at events where she's seeking out the camera, making sure she grabs the microphone, making sure that she's seen barging in front of Harry. And then, of course, there are the reports of what goes on behind the scenes in relation to allegations of bullying and stealing and so forth. All of this creates a rather heady brew, which means that many people simply do not like her, which includes those that have actual physical proximate interaction with her. And it is this reputation that she has which has resulted in a fresh bout of snubbing. This time we're told of it by Closer, that reports Prince Harry and wife, this one's wife, have geared up for the release of their new Netflix show, which will explore the world of polo, and give a behind-the-scenes look at the fast-paced and glamorous world of the sport. But while it's a subject extremely close to Harry's heart, having played the sport since he was a teenager, sources advise that this one's wife has struggled to fit in with his social scene, as she's never bonded with the rest of the polo wags, leaving her feeling snubbed. And as the series, which is produced by the Duke and Duchess of Sussex and made by their production company Archwell, already faces criticism, an insider reveals, "Polo is Harry's life. He put his heart and soul into this show and had huge hopes for it. So the fact that it's getting such terrible reviews has hit him very hard. This one's wife is trying to be understanding, but apparently she's somewhat relieved, because she's seeing this as an opportunity to convince Harry he should put more of his focus on other hobbies. She'd much rather he spend his free time surfing and hiking." Now, if this report is accurate, this demonstrates once again her absence of emotional empathy on two fronts. First of all, she doesn't really care for the programme, quite possibly why she was hardly in it. And moreover, the disappointing reviews she sees as Harry's problem and not hers, because she's not invested in it, because it's Harry's thing and not hers. When the narcissist tells you that they enjoy going horse riding too, when they tell you that, hey, yeah, I really like the Human League or Robbie Williams, or if they explain to you, origami, I love nothing more than a wet Sunday afternoon getting down amongst the paper. If those are things that you enjoy, it's more than likely that the narcissist is actually mirroring your interests to make you feel special. It's part of the way that the narcissist seduces you. They, where unaware, instinctively mirror your likes and dislikes so that you are drawn towards them. Birds of a feather and all that. This only occurs, of course, in the golden period, because the reality is the narcissist doesn't give a flying fuck about your hobbies. The narcissist is not interested in what you actually do, save to the extent that they can exploit it for the pursuit of the prime aims. Accordingly, this one's wife would have appeared all encouraging about Harry's love of polo, but as a consequence of the fact it's not her thing, and because his friends see through her, her narcissism causes her to not be particularly interested in it. It has to be about her. It has to be in her interests. And the fact that the friends and the wags aren't particularly warm towards her naturally is a threat to control. The insider continues, obviously she can't ban Harry from playing polo. I wouldn't bet against her trying. But it's no secret she'd rather it not be front and centre in their lives. Mostly because she hasn't really gelled with most of the wags. She was expecting it to be this great social opportunity. Pausing there. In other words, she was expecting everybody to drop to their knees when she appeared and go, "Ooh, look, it's this one's wife. Wow, isn't she so demure? Isn't she so brave, so stunning, so beautiful? We're so lucky that she's here." But of course, whilst they may well have been polite and civil to her, because they're not particularly interested in her, that doesn't work for her, and therefore she wants to dial it back. However, it hasn't been a great social opportunity, at least not for her. She's not expecting him to totally move on from polo, but she'd like him to reduce the time that he pays to it and put his attention on other things. And the harsh reality is that's more likely now. Harry's polo home club is the Santa Barbara Polo and Racquet Club in California, near to the couple's Monty Shit Show mansion, where they live with their children, yada yada yada, in case you'd forgotten that they had any. Earlier this year, Harry and this one's wife were pictured packing on the PDA as they attended a glitzy charity polo match in Miami, Florida. However, this one's wife sparked an awkward moment at the event as she was seen asking a woman not to pose next to Harry for a picture on stage after he won the tournament. See parts pass him for that analysis. Last month, the trailer for the series was released ahead of the Polo launch date, with many branding it cheesy and cringe. The source says that while they're trying to brush off the backlash, it's difficult not to take it personally. Harry and this one's wife are putting a brave face on and saying it's a good bit of fun and ultimately not something to get worked up about. As far as they are concerned, it's very unfair they're catching heat. They take issue with people who roll their eyes and call them reality TV sellouts. People haven't even seen the whole series, and they're already tearing it down, and they fully believe the harsh reaction is simply down to their association with it. That is interesting, because if that's accurate, it does show that this one's wife realises that she's unpopular. How could she not? So many headlines, so many videos, so many blog articles report on that being the case. As I've explained to you before, she doesn't understand why she's unpopular, and she certainly does not accept it. But notice here how her narcissism blame shifts. This is a really good programme. The only reason that people slate it is because they don't like me and Harry, and that's because they're haters and misogynists and racists. Rather than actually think it's boring and it's an elitist sport that not many people are interested in, so therefore it's going to draw a lot of critics, this one's wife's narcissism automatically goes on the defensive. It's of course another slap in the face for them, Closer continues, and states it's difficult, especially for this one's wife, not to take it to heart. It's common knowledge among her friends that she sees herself as a very serious figure in the entertainment business. Well, the only person that sees herself as very serious. She and Harry have geared their brand around being classy and intelligent. They want to be seen as respected producers. Good luck with that. But it looks as though it's starting to sink in that this type of project has not done them any favours as far as being taken seriously by their peers. Accordingly, the show's getting panned, but at the same time, this one's wife has not been accepted by those associated with the game. And rather than change her approach, which of course she won't do because she can't admit that she's done anything wrong, it would appear that she's suggesting to Harry, don't do as much polo. She's not interested in his hobbies, she's only interested in what it can do for her. And since it's not doing anything for her, and indeed being snubbed by those that are associated with the game, means that it's actively causing her a problem. Hence, she seeks to control Harry by suggesting don't do as much polo. The programme tanks, and this one's wife snubbed by those who are associated with the sport, all as a consequence of the collateral consequences of the way that her narcissism operates, making her unpopular. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.